Make sure that Lubriderm's in frame.
Oh yeah.
My skin's so dry. Nothing says I fucking just openly jack off at my computer than a Lubriderm bottle.
That is awesome. Are we ready?
Yeah, we're fucking streaming, dude.
Awesome.
Oh man, Lubriderm is the best.
On this, nobody fucking cares. On this episode of the Red Eye Report, we talk about heist. We listen to some bullshit from Ashtray, and we smoke a lot of bit of weed. With us this week is Ashtray. The only thing Ashtray steals is the hearts of homeless women and whatever disease they have.
They give to me the disease for free of charge. The hearts cost.
Then there's Oracle. Oracle once put together a heist to steal the Declaration of Independence, but he was caught when the first part of his plan was to take out Nicolas Cage, so he didn't have any competition.
National treasure.
Yep. And then there's Mystic. Mystic has seen some shit tonight, so he gets a pass. And I'm Teddy. I'm awesome at stealing because I'm black. Better watch your shit. And this is the Red Eye Report.
Right. As if like you're born with like the extra skills. It's like, oh, it's inherent.
Yep.
He's black. He knows how to steal.
I know how to hop a fence by the time I was 6. All right, my voice is kind of going, so y'all got to deal with me tonight. I thought about this. My original topic was going to be divorce, but it was not very exciting. Bunch of numbers and statistics. It really wasn't.
that one for Ashtray.
It really was not. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this. So I'm gonna change my topic. I'm in the shower and my feed is going. And I see biggest cash heist in U.S. history. This past Easter, they stole $30 million.
Wait, you were in the shower and you're looking at your phone?
Yeah, I have a little like an alcove in my thing that I'll put in, and I can watch the news feed or whatever.
You put your phone and stuff while you're showering? Damn. That's swing.
It's like fucking Cyberpunk in fucking Teddy's house.
You're telling me that you can't be without your phone for 5 10 minutes.
Right.
Dude, I take like 20 minute long showers, bro. I get clean.
I get clean. I also jerk off in there.
What is wrong with watching the news while I'm in the fucking shower?
Dude, I've never heard anybody watching the news while
What's wrong with watching the news in the shower? Like
Jesus Christ.
What's wrong with it, Teddy?
Oh,
you know
fucking
what?
shit.
You
Rich
bring
people
electronic equipment. That blows my mind.
It's waterproof.
I don't care.
Water resistant.
Jesus
Teddy, I support
Christ.
your high-tech lifestyle.
Man.
I wish I had an alcove for my tech.
So that was the largest in history. They broke into a building, stole some money. They didn't find out about it until Monday when they opened the vault. The security system was done by a Canadian company. They could not be reached and would not comment. So I started thinking about other heists in history. Say what?
You said they wouldn't comment. Did you call them? Is that
yeah, right.
No, this is from the news that I was watching in the shower.
Hey, though, what about we forgot to pause.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh. All right.
Hey man, that pet needs a home.
Okay, so this animal is going to be Robbie the raccoon, the rascally raccoon. He was trying to steal some shit from some dumpsters, and it fell on and broke his leg. So,
Yeah, right. And now he's raspy. He also likes to huff gas, but that's beside the point of his broken legs.
Right.
So instead of just stepping on his head, we're fucking spending I don't know how much a day to fucking feed this idiot.
Yeah, he's actually on life support. We're keeping him alive.
Only the Dane County Humane Society has a heart big enough to give this gas huffing. He's probably also addicted to fentanyl.
Right.
Raspy raccoon.
Well, that's a given. Once they enter,
try fentanyl and say
right. All raccoons are addicted to fentanyl.
Wow. So, all right. So that was the largest in history. So I started looking at some other ones. The one before that, that was the largest in history was done in September 12th, 1997. It was the Dunbar armored robbery. Six guys. They robbed the Dunbar Armor Facility on Mateo Street in downtown Los Angeles, California. They got away with $18.9 million. The robbery was planned by a guy named Alan Pace and his childhood friends Eric Damon, Eugene Hill, fucking Freddie McCary, Terry
Freddie
Brown,
Mercury.
and Thomas Johnson. Pace had worked. He actually worked at the Dunbar Armor Facility, and
Doesn't that
he was
sound
actually
like that company from The Office? Dunbar Mifflin? Wasn't that
yeah, Dunder Mifflin.
Dunder Mifflin.
Mifflin?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So he was actually he was their like safety chief. He ended up getting fired the day before the heist, actually, for tampering with the trucks.
And they didn't make anything.
But they were already planning to rob it the next Friday, whether he got fired or not. So him getting fired just kind of worked out. So
Did they explain how he was tampering with the trucks? I assume it had to deal with the heist.
They actually didn't. It actually didn't have have to do with the heist because they robbed the facility. They didn't rob the trucks. So because he was the safety leader guy, manager, whatever. He knew that on Fridays, because of all the money coming in, they pretty much left the gate unlocked. They left the safe unlocked. So what him and his five friends did was they went and they had a house party for appearances, for alibi appearances. They slipped out in a U-Haul truck that one of them remember in it, and went to rob the facility. Because he knew all the safety procedures and everything else, they didn't fire a shot. They took out all the security guards. One by one, they waited in the lunchroom and waited for them to come take their lunch break. So one by one, as they walked to the lunchroom, they fucking got these guys, hog-tied them, and duct taped them. And then they finally rushed the two guards that were guarding the vault. It took them 30 minutes to get $18.9 million, which they say is pretty fucking fast, because $30 million and not switch bills is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
They left no evidence. The only evidence they left was apparently, I don't know how this fell off, or whatever, but one of the yellow lights that go on the rear view of the truck. One of those that fell off, but the cops knew they had to get it out somehow. They laid low for 6 months. They started doing.
That's gonna be hard when you got multiple people involved.
Right, it is. They laid low for 6 months. Cops had no leads. Pace started setting up. He started laundering his money. And there was another guy. I think it was Eugene. This is like 2 years later. He goes to this is the way they got caught. This one guy goes to pay his real estate broker with stacks of cash, but he didn't take the bands off. So he still had the band markers on there.
You fool!
Right.
And the guy and his real estate broker was like, "This is kind of suspicious." So he called the cops.
Besides
So the cops go arrest little buddy. Turns out that he had rented a U-Haul in his name the night before the fucking heist. So they get his ass interrogation. This motherfucker snitches on everybody. Everybody. They got back about $4.5 million, but that's how they got caught. If he had not,
you say it was 2 years later.
2 years later, yes.
Did it say how long of a sentence they got for that?
I did not look at the sentences. No.
And what year did this happen again?
This was 1997.
97. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
That's
Alan
still
Pace,
like early enough where you didn't have GPS and everybody's phone.
Alan Pace was sentenced to 24 years in prison.
Damn.
Boyd was sentenced to 17 years. The four others pled guilty and received sentences between 8 and 10 years. So yeah, but they barely got back any money. There was another one.
Well, yeah, because they got caught.
Yeah. I mean, after they caught them, they barely got back any of the money. After 2 years,
man,
it was like $4 million left. So you all have seen Heat, right?
Yeah.
So that was actually inspired by a real villain, by a real heist guy and a cop. The guy's name was Neil McNulty. I think that was his name in the movie also. But the cop's name was Detective Chuck Adamson. Neil McNulty was born in 1914. But he spent about 25 years of his life behind bars. By the time he got out of the last prison he was in was what's the one on the island that nobody could escape?
Alcatraz.
He was in Alcatraz for 8 years. but the last 4 years of that was in solitary confinement. Anyway, he gets out of prison, goes back to Chicago, and for some reason, this detective that knows about him kind of becomes obsessed with him. He's like, he's gonna go get back to those old ways, and sure enough, he does. He starts robbing. I don't know why they're doing fucking. I got what are those things? Not shipment houses, fucking warehouses. Starts robbing warehouses. With a crew of 6.
Outhouses.
I was trying to figure out the word for it. Fuck you, man. So anyway, they start robbing this shit together. And the cop, the guy's a hunch that it's him, that it's the little buddy. So he decides to set up a counter surveillance team, and they start following him around and watching what they're doing. And he finds out this guy's really, really, really meticulous, like super meticulous. He didn't think he was this meticulous. So they had been McNulty and his crew had been casing this one warehouse. They've done practice runs and things, and so and the cops have been watching do all this. And so they decided to put 2 guys into. He decided to put 2 guys in the warehouse. Told them not to move at all, no matter how long it happens. And then cute to the night, the cops have been staying. Those 2 cops have been staying inside for about 6-7 hours. McNulty and his crew go to make a move. One of the cops decides to leave out the back door to go take a piss because he's been standing there waiting for forever. McNulty kind of hears some noises, thinks something is up, and him and his crew turn around and walk away from the heist. Nice.
Well, that's right. There was that scene in Heat where they're like right in the middle of it, and they're like, bolt, boom, because they heard a noise. So,
and the reason why this movie got made is pretty cool also. So, fast forward to he's trying to catch him. Adams is trying to catch McNulty. McNulty's evading him. That whole little scene where they have coffee and shit, that actually happened. They actually did sit down and have coffee together. And do that. I mean, the dialogue was different, but they kind of fucking
didn't follow the comic.
Yeah, it didn't follow the comic. And then McNulty and his group they start robbing national supermarkets, national brand supermarkets. That's the name of supermarkets, National
Kroger
Supermarket. This is in the 60s, 64, and it's because like back then it was all cash back then. There's no credit cards. So, and they had all this money, and also, so to catch him, what's the guy's the cop? He starts casing one of the supermarkets that gets a huge armored truck delivery every Friday, and it turns out that's the one they hit. So they come out of the store, big shootout ensues. The whole bank shootout at the end. That's supposed to be. It was really a supermarket, but they didn't have a giant shootout. Everybody gets shot except for one guy. Everybody gets killed except for one guy.
All right.
And he gets his man. The reason the story got made into a movie is because Adamson, the detective, he decides to leave Chicago with a buddy of his, Dennis Farina, to move out to California. And y'all know who Dennis Farina is, actor?
No.
Name sounds familiar, but he's all these people.
He was in Goodfellas.
Wherever Mystic's at.
So anyway, they go out there and start writing all these stories about the cases they've done, and he catches the eye of some of screenwriters and directors and stuff, and so that's how the story got put in the film.
So they basically use as their. So what year did the actual heist happen? This one that inspired Heat?
It was 64, I believe.
Okay. So it was kind of loosely based on it because that shootout happened in like the 90s.
Oh yeah, it was like the 90s. Yeah, Heat was like 90s.
Yeah.
Present day at the time for the movie.
Yep, we got. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go finish the thing. Yeah, sorry.
Oh, I was just saying how like Heat wasn't really like a biopic kind of that. It was just the 90s because he came out 97.
Yeah. All right. So moving along here, we got a few more to go through. We got one with video footage. This is the Bratislava Rolex theft. If you go into the thing, you can see this.
Yeah.
These guys did this robbery in about a minute and 30 seconds. They got I believe it was a Mercedes.
It looks like a movie trailer intro.
They put a Dodge Ram thing on the back of it, and they backed it into the store. they got out. They got out and just jacked all the Rolexes. They got away with about, I think it said it was 800,000 euros worth of Rolexes in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Guys was moving.
Oh, they had to wiggle under that thing too.
Yeah,
That's pretty narrow. Yeah, I guess you couldn't probably get the.
Yeah.
They probably expected to really ram through it.
but let me put this in here before I forget.
Now, did they get away with this one?
They got away with it. Yes, they still have not been caught.
Huh.
Yeah, they are home free on this one.
Oh, don't knock over the plant.
Yeah, what is that weird, like...
Yeah, what the fuck kind of plant is
really
that?
yeah, maybe it is a plant. Yeah, just like slowly tipped. Like, oh, don't mind me. I haven't been watered by this fucking rich staff in months anyways.
All right, and the next one we're talking about is the Hatton Garden Safe Deposit Burglary. Hatton Garden is a place, is a district in London. And they have about 300 jewelry stores around there. So this is in 2015, April 2015. These guys orchestrated a plan to rob it over the long Easter holiday. It happened to be a 4-day weekend. So, and the thing about this is a team of 6, and these guys were in their
Jesus ain't gonna get up for 3 days. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. So the thing is, these guys were in their 60s and 70s.
Wow.
When they did this. A team of 6.
That sounds like Ocean's 25 or whatever, you know? Like,
yeah.
It was like, we'll get the band back together one more time.
Fuck it.
So this is 2015 for Easter. So these guys, they got down, they went down an elevator lift to where the bank vault. What they did, they didn't rob the jewelry stores. They robbed the safety depository. There was this place. It was just safety deposit boxes. So they went down in the elevator, and they had to burrow through 22 inches of cement to get through. If you go into the Facebook feed, you can see the bottom picture is what they had to do to get through. And they did this over 4 days. The top picture is what they got away with.
Yeah. So you're saying there's something in Messenger or what?
Messenger, yes, in Messenger, yeah. The bottom one is what they burrowed. And then the top one is the safety deposit box that they got in. They got about 70. They said about 70 safety deposit box.
The fuck did they use to get through that?
Yeah, boy, it looks like they bored
a diamond chip bore. Yeah, diamond chip bore.
God.
Yeah, it was like 3 tunnels.
Holy fucking shit.
That's a big.
Yeah. Yep. They got about 70 safety deposit boxes. They got away with about 14 million euros worth of things.
How long did it take for them to fucking drill through that?
They did it over. It was like a 4-day heist.
Okay.
They started on Friday. And they left on Sunday. Nobody knew what had happened until fucking on Monday when business opened back up and the shit was gone. And like I said, these guys is in their 60s and 70s. The way they got caught is one of these guys, he parked his car, which was a Mercedes Benz. He parked it close to the place where they were doing a heist.
That bank.
And it was there for 4 days. So they ran the cops ran his tag, found out who it was, and they ended up putting they put a tap in his car and both his cars. He had another one. They put a tap in his other car, and he caught him and his friends talking about the heist. So after that, they started tailing these motherfuckers, and they got video footage of these guys in a pub, just like bragging about how they got in and shit and everything else.
Fuck yeah, I would too if I was 7 years old.
And then when they got word they were trying to move some of the merchandise, they actually that's when they arrested them. And so all these old guys got, I think they got about, I think the oldest one got like 8 years or whatever.
Right. It's Europe, and they're already in their 70s. They're not getting shit.
Yeah. They got back, I think they got back 3.4 million euros worth of the stuff those guys took. But yeah, they weren't free for very long. The last one I want to talk about is the guy known as shit. Where is it at? Boom.
Known as shit.
Known as El.
No, his name is known as a rooftop robber or roof man.
Roof man.
Yeah.
Also sounds like a serial, like sexual assault person. Roof man.
So this guy's name is Jeffrey Allen Manchester. He robbed about 40 McDonald's around the country.
40 McDonald's?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. The way he did it was he would climb onto the roof, he'd make a hole, and then wait for the crew or something to get there in the morning, and then he'd drop down, take his gun, ask him very politely. Apparently he was a very polite guy. He would rob the store and then put them in the walk-in cooler, not the freezer, the walk-in cooler. and then people noticed something going wrong, call the cops. How he got caught was one time he didn't close the cooler all the way. They ended up getting out calling the cops. They flew to the area and caught little buddy. They couldn't figure out how he was getting around the country to these McDonald's. Turns out he was in the Army. And he got into some trouble in the Army, and they say that he got knocked down from a regular soldier to a reserve soldier. I didn't know you could do that. Oracle, yes.
Yeah, Oracle knows anything about the military. Answered no.
Yeah, well,
it said he got knocked down from a soldier to like a reservist.
Well, yeah, like I was active duty, and then I did some reserve time while I was in college too. You can do that.
So what he did was he would he'd have to go certain places to do special training, and that's when he would rob McDonald's. So it would go on for a little bit in an area, and then it would stop, and then he would move to
rob multiple McDonald's. So he would basically sneak up onto the rooftop at night and then cut a hole through the roof.
Yep.
And then just like, all right, wait for.
But that's not the end of the story. All right. So what happens is he ends up getting caught, goes to jail. He gets 47 years. No, I'm sorry, 45 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and he's only 27 years old at the time. He gets pissed.
What?
So he gets pissed. Yeah.
Golden Arch is a comfort.
That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, he started doing this in November 1998. He robbed between 60 and 40. He did about between 40 and 60 across the country. So he gets sentenced, goes to prison for about 4 years. He's a model prisoner. Doesn't get any trouble. So he gets a job he wants working in the metal shop. He notices that a truck comes to the metal shop to drop off supplies. So he's planning his escape. He ends up making a box. I don't know how the fuck he did this in prison when nobody noticed him, but he did. He made a box. He made a box painted in black. And then one day when it was raining, because the cops, they're going to check this shit before they leave. One day when it was raining, he was able to put the box in between some support beams, get in there, and when they checked the bottom of the box with the mirror, with the bottom of the truck with the mirror, it looks all black and shit like the bottom of the truck. So he gets taken out of prison. He escapes.
So he's in the box.
Yeah, they don't notice he's gone until the end of the day and shit. I guess because he's a model citizen, a model prisoner. They didn't watch him. He
was very polite, right? They said he was very polite.
No, he was very polite. So he gets out, and instead of this is a Stony Brook prison, like an hour away from Charlotte, and so he gets out, he gets free, and they think he's going to California where his family is. He doesn't go to California. He stays in Charlotte. He turns out he's free for about 7-8 months. And the way he stayed free is he actually went into a Toys R Us store. I don't know if you remember Toys R Us stores back in the day. They were huge. Where he went to a Toys R Us store and found a way to hide in a Toys R Us store. And then when the door,
he lived in the Toys R Us store.
He lived in a Toys R Us store for like 2 months. He ended up. He was
probably putting on the Jeffrey costume.
Well, they did say it was weird. People would come back to open the store. They find like toys played with and shit, batteries open, and everything else. Really? But this is he escaped, I believe, in September of 2002. So he stays in there for a couple months, and he realizes the Christmas season's coming. He got to find a better place to hide. So he finds out that there's a Circuit City next door to that Toys R Us store, but the Circuit City is abandoned. So he makes a tunnel. He goes into there's a shared wall. So he goes to the back of the store, and then there's a bookshelf. So he makes a little square to get into the other store. So while he's in the other store, he sets up a whole hiding spot in there, and then he goes back to Toys R Us, grabs a bunch of baby monitors and things, and he sets up puts baby monitors, hides baby monitors around Toys R Us store shit, so he can watch it and stuff. So he knows what's going on because nobody's gonna come in the Circuit City store because it's shut down.
Sorry, yeah, closed.
After another month or so, he starts getting bored. So he wants to go out. So, but he needs money, so he decides to rob the Toys R Us store. To do this, he uses that little setup he does. to do this, he needs guns. So he goes to a gun store, does his little roof thing, steals 4 handguns, come back the next night, robs the next day.
How's this fucker just make holes through roofs?
Right. That's his calling card. So he does. So he robs a Toys R Us store and gets about $15,000 from the safe. And he goes to run out the back door to set off the alarm. And then he runs and goes to the little hiding spot. Cops show up and they're like, he went out the back door. The employee's like, he went out the back door. And so the cops are right, cool. So they didn't really do any much searching around the store. He starts going out, making friends. He actually joins the church congregation, starts making friends, gets a girlfriend.
Joins the church. Boy, what a month. Yeah, that's actually a smart move. Smart.
Changes his name to Mike Zara.
Jesus will forgive me.
And he starts stealing toys from Toys R Us because the church has an orphanage. So he's giving like kids toys from the
Toys R Us. Oh man.
Yeah.
He's kind of like a weird sociopath.
He starts dating this chick, and the story's telling everybody his name is Mike Zara. He's an agent for an agency he cannot name. He's here doing things he cannot talk about. But he loves God and needs him in his life. So that's why he comes to church. And church people are trustworthy people. So he doesn't. So that way, then everybody believes it. His girlfriend believes it, everything else. And he also tells her that because that way she can't ever ask to come to his place or whatever, because I can't have you over here. So blah, 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 security risk type of thing. He does this for a few more months. He's out, I think, for like 7, 9 months. He's out. He does this for a few more months. And then he decides to rob Toys R Us again. So because he needs money. So the 15 grand is gone. So he does the same thing again, but when he robs the store, he gets all the employees in one place at one time, so he can surprise them with one gun. But this time, somebody kind of got the drop on him. He didn't see him, so it didn't go as planned. He takes off running, but he does not run to head the back door to set off the alarm to let him know the emergency door's been open. He just runs to his hiding spot.
Ah, you dumb shit!
Oh.
So he runs to his hiding spot, but he runs through to his hiding spot and then runs outside the scene and gets out. The cops get to the store and like what the fuck, and then like he didn't run out the door, and that's when they found all this fucking shit in the other store. They found a secret location because of they did find the hole. They did find the holes in the other in places around and shit that he had robbed, stealing from.
They found what kind of magical fucking tool he makes these holes in fucking ceilings and shit with.
Well, the first hole he did he robbed. He got it from the maintenance place of the Toys R Us, and the other tools he just robbed from.
Like, yeah, is it a 18 volt? Fucking Milwaukee. It's probably what it is. It's 18 volt.
I have no idea.
Cordless Milwaukee Sawzall. Like that's what I was like. How
because ashtrays put the shit in the ceiling before. So anyway, they kind of find out who he is and starts putting his picture around town. They doctored it up because he shaved his beard off so he wouldn't get noticed. So they doctored it up with an unshaved beard and stuff. Start circulating around town. Gets to the church people. The church like, hey, we know this guy.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, he has he has a girlfriend. Turns his girlfriend didn't believe the cops when he told her all this. But he was like, you don't believe us? Let us see. And we'll catch a brief. And so she makes plans to meet up with him at her house. And so he apparently had planned to go meet up with him this last time.
Can't say no to that puss.
Right? Gotta get it one last time. So he goes.
That's how I would get caught.
Yep. He goes to get his girlfriend and gets arrested. And then he gets 47 years in prison.
God damn. That is such a long sentence.
I know, right?
This guy seems like a kid. Like this is the way like a kid's brain would think. You know,
he's probably on the spectrum. Back then,
he's neurodivergent. Cut the guy some
I can't
slack.
help. I have to live in a hidden little fucking alcove of Circuit City, where dreams went to die.
Yeah, they should make a fucking movie out of this. That's actually a really kind of interesting, weird story about that guy.
So he's still in prison now, I'm assuming.
He's still in prison now. Yes, yeah. He got caught in like 2004.
Well,
right.
Jesus, man, that's too long. I mean, he didn't fucking kill anybody or hurt anybody.
He didn't kill anybody. He didn't hurt anybody. No,
what the fuck, dude?
Yeah. What state was this?
This was in North Carolina.
Oh, that's why.
I've got one more honorable mention, really short. this heist, this was a smash and grab that took place in Birmingham, in England. 4 guys with one lookout. They did a smash and grab on a jewelry store, grabbed a bunch of jewelry, watches, diamonds, and then split. They ended up getting away. They were all wearing masks. They drove a getaway car, and the public actually, people outside this. The one guy, the one lookout, he actually had an axe that would try to keep the crowd away from the smash and grab because people are like, stop doing that.
Swinging an axe
stop doing that. Yeah, so swinging the axe around and shit.
This is our robbery. Sounds like a zombie movie.
They get in the getaway car, take off running. People tried to take pictures of the license plate, but they were all fake. It was a team of 4 or 5, I believe. So 2 hours later, a guy tries to sell a huge diamond, to a fucking. This is like 2 hours after the heist.
Stand.
2 hours to a fucking pawn store. The pawn shop guy thought this is kind of odd. The guy like this would have a fucking diamond the size on him, especially after the shit he heard went down today. So he calls the cops.
Yeah, right.
The cops look at the footage of the fucking of the video footage from the store. It turns out this dumbass, not only did he it was the leader of the group. Not only did he try to sell the diamond 2 hours after the heist, he didn't even change his fucking clothes. He was still wearing the same clothes from the heist. So you can see the same outfit on the they say outfit on the camera from the store they robbed from, and then this motherfucker looking the same just without a mask on, trying to sell the fucking diamond. Those motherfuckers got caught immediately. It was fucking retarded.
So where was that one?
That was in Birmingham in England.
Oh, okay.
They got caught immediately. I'm like, the leader went try to sell a huge ass diamond 2 hours after the heist. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, lay low for a minute. And he only sold it for $1,500. But yeah.
Hey, had to take what you can get.
That's our heist, fellas.
Boom.
We're gonna move over to the what's sexy part of our show, where we tell you what the fuck is sexy. We're gonna start with Oracle with nothing.
With nothing.
Yeah, nothing's in there.
You gotta refresh your fucking page. My what's sexy is
I see fucking
Dark Side of the 90s. So this is a Vice series on Hulu, and it's kind of like a really cool I don't know how many episodes, like 8, 9 episodes or whatever. And does like a deep dive into some aspect of the 90s. So I just watched one recently, which was about the Viper Room on Sunset Boulevard in Hollywood. I didn't realize that Johnny Depp had bought this club, and it was kind of like this exclusive thing for a period of time. And then that's where River Phoenix...
all the grunge bands and played and shit.
Yeah, and River Phoenix died outside of it. And but yeah, really kind of interesting. They have a thing on Beanie Babies and how that was all crazy.
Oh, I remember those super retarded things.
Yeah, and it really gets into like the nitty gritty of it, which is cool because a lot of these shows, like, oh, I love the 90s or whatever, they're pretty like surface level. They don't really get into like the shit at all. And this actually gets into it, which is pretty cool. So it's on Hulu. Check it out, especially if you grew up during that period. It's really interesting. My wife, she didn't grow up during that period.
Has this series been out for a bit?
I think a couple years.
Familiar.
Yeah, a couple years. I think it's been out. Pretty good though. I'm enjoying it.
All right, nothing like looking back at our past and realizing how fucked it was.
We're fucking old we are.
Yeah, right.
Mystic, you there?
I was gonna say, why isn't Mystic bitched at me? I miss him.
All right, we're gonna hope he comes back to us. We're gonna move on to me with 5-on-5 fight. So the Rangers and the New Jersey Devils, there's footage of it right there. This brawl started when the match started. They did the face off. Everybody dropped their sticks and gloves and went at it. It was a completely 5-on-5 blind fight. They say the fight was because in their last meeting, there was a questionable hit on one of the players, a New Jersey, the Ranger and New Jersey Devil, I believe, or maybe it's vice versa.
Get him.
But yeah, they would all 10. It was a 10-person fight. It was fucking awesome. They just dropped the sticks, started going at it. I don't think I've ever seen this in hockey. I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm not a big hockey fan. I don't watch a lot of it. So I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm pretty sure it's happened, but I've never seen it. I just thought it was fucking cool. They ended up getting
fuck your knuckles up on those helmets though, like when you undercut.
Yeah. I believe all 5 of them got fucking got kicked out. Maybe 4 of the 5 got kicked out.
I love how the refs are like, all right, keep her clean, keep her clean.
But all 10 players were hit with I think 10 was it 5 minutes of penalty time, whatever. So it was like 50 minutes of penalty time in fucking the first period because of this brawl.
The last
it was crazy
sport.
Yeah, it's so great that this is still part of hockey.
A lot.
It's like it's part of the culture. No, I'm surprised. Yes, and maybe because it's too cold to get too woke up there. Like that. It's not like you look at the refs, and the refs are more worried. Like, you know what? Get that stick out of the way.
Right.
Just,
like they are exactly. They are not concerned at all. They're just like, all right, here we go.
It's kind of like, we're gonna observe. Like an actual fucking boxing ref, it's just like, keep it clean.
Yeah. And everybody that's involved in this fight is extraordinarily calm too. Like they're punching each other in the face.
Well, and
they're just like not fucking freaking out or whatever.
If you've ever tussled with someone like that, where you're like grabbing and fucking pulling, imagine doing that on skates, keeping that balance and still jabbing, bam, bam.
Yeah.
Woo.
Well, to be fair, I mean, these professional hockey players could probably do that.
That's true.
No problem. And
totally
ride their dexterity on skates.
On skates, yep. Right. We're going to, I thought that was a cool fight. We're going to move on to Astra here with a heavy hitting pipe wrench for whenever and April Fool's something good.
I didn't put that picture in there. So I got this. Man, nice fucking almost $50 pipe wrench. Milwaukee 14-inch at the old Farm and Fleet on sale.
On sale for $50.
No. It was 50 on sale for $35.
Oh, okay. Okay, well that's decent. That's a good
point. Why do I feel like there's like somebody tied up you've been beaten with that thing?
Not yet. What a good pipe wrench is, or it's like if you actually have to. If you got to fucking get a padlock off, pipe wrench is like one of the best ways to just get around. You ever watch that? The fucking.
The Red Eye Report does not condone breaking padlocks.
Yeah, we do not. Condone
those fucking monkey wrenches because it's retarded motherfucking said so. Jesus Christ!
The guy who does all the YouTube videos of how to pick locks. Anyways. He has this whole when all else fails, good old pipe wrench. Anyways, so that was a good sexy deal for a tool, but also had on April 1st went into fucking Speedway. It's the Speedway gas station. Like compared to Quick Trip, like Speedway gas station is like Dollar General compared to say like Target. Or Target's gotten a little sloppy too, but the Speedway on Monona Boulevard I fall into, and right away the woman behind the counter she's like, hey, come here. I'm like, yeah, okay. There's like 4 or 5 other customers. Like it's kind of busy. There's 3 people behind the counter, and she's like, did you walk off a 6-pack of beer last week? And I'm like, what? I'm like, at first I'm like, what? And that fucking story I told you about happened at the club where I'm just like, what the fuck now? People thinking I'm doing shit that I didn't fucking do. What? And she's like, no. You look. She's like, our manager had the pictures up. You look just. I'm like, I haven't been here for. I don't think I've been here for like a month and a half. 2 months maybe. Like I don't come to this Speedway often unless I'm going the long way home because it's in Monona. And she's like, no, you look just. I'm like, show me the picture. I'm getting like, fuck, who the fuck is thinking? And she's like, no, manager had it up right now. She's getting on her phone, And then she's like, throws a phone in my face, and it's like this big ripped black man in a Speedo just like dancing. That was the thing too. She's like, "You were dancing, right?" And that was another part where I got like, that would be me if I had my earbuds.
That would be you if you're dancing and you're
I'd
fucking
be
taking
dancing while I'm waiting. But at the same time,
dancing.
it's like, I fucking got money for beer. I ain't stealing no fucking 6-pack of beer at a goddamn fucking Speedway. And so for a brief moment, I'm like, what the fuck are these people thinking? And then she like showed me this like black man in a Speedo dance, and because it was 3 black women behind the counter, they just all fucking laughed, and I just flipped them off. I'm like, fuck, I forgot it was April Fools. And we're like, you fucking got
good.
me. That's good. That's good. Because I'm like,
That's pretty good, yeah.
You said dancing, and like that had me from because I love dancing, but like I got money for fucking beer. It was goddamn well not me. So, anyways, like
That was
an
pretty good,
April
yeah.
Fool's joke where like you actually just completely don't catch it from
Right.
some serious.
Did you all see the Nintendo's April Fools? It was a virtual boy for the Switch. It's pretty much you put your Switch up here and it turns into the what's that stupid shit they're wearing for the Apple shit. It's all like Apple Vision.
Apple Vision.
Yeah, so like,
Didn't they do
like
that with the Switch though? Like a VR thing?
they did have a VR. They actually did have a VR thing. Yes, they did.
With the Switch for a moment?
Yeah.
With the Switch, yeah, it was it
But
was
in the
for
April
Switch, two
Fools,
things.
they were making a virtual boy.
Yeah, it was a virtual boy that worked like the Apple Wear thing. And
Yeah.
it was a pretty cool little thing. But yeah, we're gonna move on to the fuck you think section of our show. We're gonna start off with Oracle with fucking Rebel Wilson, that bony bitch. How dare she get skinny?
Right? She don't have the meat he used to love about her.
Yeah. So during my day to day, as I'm waiting for things to update and whatnot on computers, I'll just fucking scroll to Facebook while I'm sitting there, and I'm sick of seeing Rebel Wilson's skinny ass face popping up in my feed because apparently
Her PR team must be really pumping her.
yeah, it's just like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, she's skinny now. Great. Good job. You know, whatever.
Is it Ozempic?
And Rebel Wilson says that drugs like Ozempic can be good. Great. Awesome.
So does Oprah. That's why she actually left the board of Weight Watchers.
Oh, she left the board of Weight
you didn't
Watchers?
hear that? Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, and their stock plummeted.
Oh,
When they announced that shit.
damn.
Yeah, their stock went down when she left.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
They're scrambling now. They're like,
it's called
embracing
it's called
Ozempic.
WW. They don't like to say the word weight, so it's WW now.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. It's just like,
White whales.
it's kind of this whole thing of like, oh, well, she was fat, now she's skinny, she's redemption
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever. And it's just like, get over it, whatever. Fucking just let people be people. Who gives a fuck? I mean,
Who
it's
gives a
not
fuck,
that big
yeah.
of a deal.
What's funny is that's a whole thing that the whole remember the body positivity movement? I mean,
Mhm.
it's still a thing, but like there's this what's funny is there's a lot of articles about how Ozempic is like changing people's lives because it's actually finally like allowing them to lose weight and to get into at least a healthier weight level. And so in a sense, it's like some of these like people, I made a whole career as a TikTok influencer. It's like, I'm a big, beautiful woman. And then it's like, oh shit, now I'm secretly taking Ozempic. And then it's like all the fans are like, what the fuck? You look skinny. And like, if they don't actually address it, you know, and
Right.
it's kind of like they have this, you know, like I guess the absurd realization that like I was so inspired by this big fat beautiful woman, and now she ain't big fat and beautiful anymore.
Right.
Skin and bones.
Skin and bones.
All right, fuck Rebel Wilson, that skinny bitch. We're gonna move on in.
Fat Amy forever.
With cruise passengers left behind. Okay, before I
I
start,
thought of you,
my
Teddy, about this story.
my fuck you think is not the crew passengers being left behind. They deserve this shit. Okay, so when you go on a cruise, you go to your island or whatever for a day. This happened with a Norwegian cruise line, or maybe it's MCL, I can't remember. But this it was six people cruising Africa. They did an excursion. When you do an excursion that you get through the cruise line, they are obligated to wait for you if you have a delay 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. Yes, it is a little extra, but you're guaranteed that if something goes wrong, you get back on the ship.
Sure.
That's why they tell you do not take it. Do not if you're going somewhere, like, well, don't try to book your own excursion and have to pick up at the port, because something goes wrong and you don't get back in time. But when the ship leaves, then they're left. They're gone. They're gone. And so these people were I think an hour or more late because of this.
Everyone else on the boat's like, get the fuck go.
Yeah, everybody else was like, and the folks like, well, let's fucking go. They gave them their passports, but they didn't give them the folks didn't have their wallets yet. They had to do a 6-day like trek to get to Senegal to catch up with the boat, which they ended up doing. Oh, lost Mystic. Which they actually ended up doing. And I just think just do the excursion to the cruise loss. You're guaranteed to get back, because I'm pretty sure I've never seen an excursion that, you know.
That's funny, because the news story I heard made it sound like they're like, oh, well the captain warned that we're running a little late. Please wait. I didn't realize it was like an unofficial like. Right,
it was an unofficial thing. Man. And even when you haven't got back to ship at the time, they will wait like an extra 30 to 45 minutes. For you, but they up to an hour. But the thing a lot of people were upset about was the cruise ship was still there. They just weren't allowed back on the boat because because the ship was getting ready.
They literally got to the ship, but they're like, "No, we're not going to let you on.
We're not going to let you through yet." And they were like, "Because we're getting ready."
I guess I would be a little pissed too. Be like, "Yes, I'm late. Sorry, but you haven't left port, but you're not going to let me on just as a punishment."
Yeah, fuck you. Should have got back in time. As a black man who's on time, I'm saying, fuck you. Be on time.
Yeah. I mean, I get it from the cruise line perspective, because there's no way, like, if you're not booked through whatever sanctioned things or whatever, there's no way they could keep track of fucking, you know, oh, you wanted to go on the crack smoking tour.
Yeah, right. The crack pipe tour in the back
the crack
alley.
Pipe
and
tour.
You felt you got passed out from too many handies.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Sorry.
So, I mean, I get it, why they do it that way.
We have our own, crack alley on the cruise ship.
So that was my thing. I'm like, it's always fun to be on a cruise and you see people running toward the dock and shit as the cruise ship is leaving.
You just throw fucking bags of shit at them.
Yeah.
Amateurs.
Plus, I always want to do a short excursion to get back to the ship so I can do shit when people aren't there.
So you can play your Switch by the pool.
So yeah, I play my Switch by the pool. So what? Go fuck yourself. That's
someday
quality
I'll fuck
Zelda.
myself on a cruise ship right next to you. Be like,
Quality,
quit fucking yourself.
Zelda time.
Trying to play my
Zelda
Switch.
time. Next up is Ashtray with the invention of prehistory, empire, violence, and our obsession with the human race.
So yeah, I guess my fucking thing was more this guy's book, but I almost use the article itself from the Atlantic as my what's sexy, because it's a pretty good takedown to it. So it's like the title of the article itself is "What's so bad about asking where humans came from?" And it is it's a review.
The first thing about humans coming from somewhere is you don't ask about humans coming from somewhere. That's the first rule.
Well, right. So this is kind of a review and takedown of this book called "The Invention of Prehistory, Empire, Violence, and Our Obsession with Human Origins," which is written by the intellectual historian, which is like, oh, what's the difference between a regular historian and an intellectual historian? Stefanos Gerolanos, who of course teaches at NYU. But it's kind of one of these books that is, compending all the the scientific research of us trying to figure out where we came from. But at the same time, as the author of this article, William Dershowitz points out, is like kind of that same old, where it's like tisk, like naysaying that like, oh, you were very racist in the way you researched this and made these, conclusions. It's like, well, also that research was done 100 years ago. Of course it was racist. One pressing point too is where the author writes of the article that Gerolanos presents these counterexamples, which counterexamples would be like Pan-Africanism and decolonization, the kind you would say like the left-leaning narratives of how we look at the systemic racism built upon all these things that we've are prehistory scientific, if you want to call meta narratives. This guy presents all these counterexamples, these exceptions, but never pausing to consider that once you have enough of them, exceptions aren't exceptions so much as a new rule. Where it's like there are enough like exceptions in the sense that like the pointing out, it's kind of that almost that postmodern thing where it's like you're pointing out these counterexamples to the old white way of looking at things. Like they're no longer exceptions; they're just like a new rule. It's like a new lens to look at it. And anyways, it's a really good article. If you want to read about how it's like it's kind of this cavalier, like snooty, the book itself, anyways, way of saying like kind of poo-pooing anyone's form of like what we understand as prehistory, and yet never really giving you any examples or reasons why they're problematic. So anyways, check it out. The book itself is shit, but read the article.
Read the article that is shitting on the book.
I fuck what you think.
And never read the book.
Well, in all seriousness, go fuck your. That's yourself. In all seriousness, go fuck yourselves, you crazy fucking heisters. You smash and grabber piece of shitsters. That's just so we're going to be here every Wednesday or Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central. Make sure you join the conversation at theredartreport.com or facebook.com/thedartreport. We were banned from X. I don't know if we're back on. We haven't tried.
Nope.
Like us, shares, or fuckers. We're down for whatever. I'm Teddy.
I'm Oracle.
I miss Mystic.
And this is the Red Eye Report. Yeah.